Alright, welcome to our channel. This is Archie the Cockatiel and I am Archie's mom. Today we're going to be making another DIY bird toy and we're going to do something fun today. So I have seen some Seagrass Mat toys at the store, or the I'll let him tell you. Yeah? So I've seen some fun Seagrass Mat toys at different stores, online. We even got one in our Feathered Fun box. So I want to try making my own. So oh, is that funny? So I've picked out some of the toy parts already to use on this. Do you want to tell them what you got? So one of the items we're going to use on the Seagrass toy is this little vine star. So this piece of wood that has some bark on it. We've also got some mahogany pods, which are obviously one of Archie's favorites, so we have some of those. And then a letter block with an A, of course, for Archie. Just this cute little plastic wiffle ball. A penny wrapper. I already stuffed it with some paper. The color theme for this toy is going to be blue and green. You'll see with some of the other toy parts that I picked that color scheme. So I already stuffed with this with paper. I also already used my hole punch and put a hole in it as well. It's the hole punch that I used in my last DIY video that Archie actually picked out the toys. So I'll put a link below for that hole punch along with the sites that I got all these parts from. You're very talkative today. Yeah. This is your channel though, so it's, you know, it's okay. You're cute. Yeah. Okay, so on with more toy parts. So he really likes these sola beads. So we've got more of those. Alright, and then we've got some balsa wood here. Once again, blue and green going with the theme. And then we've also got some wooden beads that are once again blue and green. And I'm going for mostly natural materials with this toy. Some of the other toys that I've seen have been really cute, but they have a lot of plastic parts on them, and I really like to go for all natural. But some plastic is okay, so I did pick up a number 5. And the reason that I picked this, not only because it was blue, but also because I have 5 birds, so it seemed appropriate. And then I also picked out some links to hold some of the items to the mat. So we've got like a blue star here and a green star. So once again with the color theme, green heart. And then I also have some smaller links to use as well. And the leather rope that I got from, I think it was either My Safe Bird Store or Bird Toy was one of them, but some leather rope to use to thread those things through that I've just showed you and then attach them to the Seagrass mat. So I think this should be a lot of fun. He likes the Seagrass Mats toys, but some of them just have a lot of plastic and sometimes he gets into trouble and wants to try to eat the plastic. So I like to try to give him things with more natural materials. Oh, it's kissy break time. so now that we've picked out our toy parts for our Seagrass Mat toy, let's go ahead and get started. Are you gonna help or are you gonna preen? We'll see if he decides he wants to help make it or not. Alright, so we have our toy parts set here. I have some millet over here for Archie as well. And let's get started. So I have my Seagrass mat here. And I almost forgot earlier, we need a quick link as well to attach it to the cage. So I got that out as well. Now with quick links, just a quick safety tip. You want to make sure that when you put the quick link in your bird's cage, that you actually make sure that you shut it and screw it on properly so that it's completely closed. When I had cockatiels many years ago, one of the toys, this came undone somehow, and she got this stuck through her beak, because you know how under their beak there's like a hole. It was like through that. It was pretty gnarly. So does anyone say gnarly anymore? It was pretty bad. It was an unpleasant experience for the both of us, because obviously she was in pain and I had to be the one to take it out. So definitely these can be a hazard if you're not careful. Always make sure that it's screwed completely shut. Another thing that you can do is when you hang your toys, a lot of people want to hang them this way from the cage. You can actually hang them so that it hangs from the bars like this. That way, if they get their foot trapped, it's easier to pull it out versus hanging it this way, where it's a little bit tighter around the bottom and it's hard if their feet get stuck to draw it out. It's a little easier if there's a bigger hole facing down for them. So that's just a quick tip for hanging your toys. Sometimes it's better to hang them like that. Alright, so first things first, I'm going to go ahead and cut the leather rope into some smaller strips here. And just tie a knot at the bottom. So you want to tie the knot so that it's pretty tight, so that there's not an opening that their toe or nail could get stuck in it. Alright, so that's nice and tight. Now we're going to put on our mahogany paws. I'm going to put on the small one first, and then this little bit larger one. Archie is testing the product. And then I'm just going to find somewhere on the mat to attach it. And I went with a little bit longer piece of leather rope, just because you can always take off length, but you can't add it on, so. If I use too much, I could always trim it off and save it for something else. Because I want to leave a little bit of length on the toys that are dangling, but not too much length. Because I want them to be like hanging from it, not completely tight against the mat. So like this. So it's got a little bit of length to hang there. And then I'll just trim off this excess and I can recycle that and use it for another part. Probably tie another knot at this end though, just to make sure that it stays put. Alright, so we have the first item on there. Next, let's do the penny roll. So with this, as I said before, I put a hole through it already with the stuffed paper, so it's probably going to be kind of hard to get it through this because I already put the paper in it. So what I can do is I have those quilt needles that I used in my other DIY video, so I can stick it through. So let's try and see if that works. I might use one of the pieces. Alright, so let's see if this works. So I think these were called quilt needles. They had the nice big eye on them, which is why I went with them. Plus they have the blunt end. Alright, so the leather rope wouldn't go through the needles, so I'm going to use some hemp rope instead. So I got some of the hemp rope through the needle eyes. Let's go ahead and try to poke it through. Okay. So I'm going to take the needle off now that I have the hemp rope through it. The hemp rope was more malleable to like flatten out to go through the eye. The leather rope really just wasn't having it. It's just not malleable enough to try to make it fit through that. So put it back in our container for safety so Archie doesn't get into it. Leave that out just in case I need it again. Alright, then I'm going to tie a knot at the bottom. And I'm going to snip off the tip because I made quite a mess putting that through. Alright, so it is good to go on the seagrass mat. Now where do I want to hang it? I think maybe from the bottom part of it. And I have it through there. So now I just need to tie a knot on the back. Probably tie a second knot as well. Just to make sure if he really pulls on it, it doesn't go anywhere. And then cut off the end. Alright, so we've got that on there. What shall we do next? Let's do our cute little star. And the paper rope went through this really easy. Ooh, let's put a little cute little wooden bead on the end of it. This little blue bead here. And since the rope is rigid going through this rigid star, it was really easy just to poke right through between a gap. So we've got our star with wooden bead there, and we'll find a spot for it, put it up in the corner. And then tie a knot. We'll cut off the excess. We have our star on there now. And with these seagrass mats, you can really hang them from whatever direction you want, so that part doesn't really matter. What should go on here next? What do you think? Alright, so let's do our number 5 here. Alright. So tying a knot at the end. And then gonna put a green wooden bead at the bottom. To go with our little 5 here. And then let's attach this with a link. So what we're gonna do is tie off the bottom with a knot. Leave a little bit of gap there.
Alright.
Tie that a little too tight. I need to loosen it so it can go through the link, because the link has a little... No. Alright, so I unloosen the knot a little bit so that I can put it through the link through the knot. And then I'm going to trim off the excess. So I added on another blue wooden bead to the end of it, and now that it's attached to the link, I'm going to use the opening of the link to put it through the seagrass mat, but I'm going to face it towards the back so that he doesn't have an accident and like get anything stuck in there. So there we go. Alright. And then next I'm going to do the wooden coin here. Alright, so I'm going to make my knot at the end. Archie is testing some of the product, quality control over here. And I'm going to put a sola bead here. He really likes these sola beads. And then another one. Okay, so I have a couple of sola beads on there. Now I'm going to put my wooden coin on there. And attach it. Yeah, he really likes these seagrass mats a lot. We got one in the feathered fun box he really liked, but he picked apart the plastic really quickly, and I was worried about him eating the plastic, so I had to take it away pretty quick. So this has more natural material on it, and the plastic that's on it, he really can't chew through, so I'm really not concerned about that. But you always want to supervise your bird with their toys, so definitely still going to be keeping an eye on him to make sure he doesn't get into trouble with this. Alright, so I got my knot on the back. Just going to go ahead and trim off the excess. When you're trimming off the excess from the back where you're knotting it, make sure you don't cut it too close to the end of the knot, otherwise it could slip through. So leave just a teensy little bit hanging out of the knot. Alright, so this is what we have so far. Looking pretty good, I think. And now we have our balsa wood. Now, I probably won't be able to fit some of these other items on there, just because I don't want it to be too busy, so let's do the balsa wood. Once again, knot at the bottom. And then we'll use the green wooden bead to kind of chill with the knot there. And then I'll alternate the colors, so I'll go blue balsa, green balsa, and then blue, and then green. I like blue and green together. I think it looks nice. Attach that over here. And I'm just looping it through, bringing the end back to the back of the seagrass mat, kind of fishing it through to get the length that I want it to actually hang from. And then once again tying a knot in the back. Making sure that it's the length that I want, make it a little shorter here. Alright. I think that looks pretty good. And I'd say we probably have room for one more toy kind of up here. So, do we want the A wood block or do we want the plastic little ball? Do you want to select, kind sir? Alright, so I think what I'm going to do, since I already have so much wood on here, I'm going to go ahead and do the cute little plastic wiffle ball. I tried to let Archie choose which one he wanted, but he wasn't really feeling it, so Mom will just overrule. And I will just choose that we do this cute little ball here. I went ahead and put the rope through the ball, so I'm going to go ahead and tie a knot at the end. And let's add some sola beads on here just for fun. Little ball. Alright, so got the sola bead on there with the ball. And I'm just going to attach it. We'll do it up here towards the top corner. Tie a knot in the back, leaving just a little bit of length on the outside so that, you know, he can kind of knock it around, play around with it. Alright, so I have all of my toys on the seagrass mat now. And now I'm going to attach the quick link. And there's a lot of little woven areas here that you can slip it through. So I just slipped it between the woven area there. Alright, and then here is our finished toy with the quick link on it. So it is ready to be hung in the cage and see what Archie thinks. Archie, what do you think so far? Wanna come check it out? What do you think? So he's already chewing on the little leather at the end of it. I thought he might like that. Let's get this hung in the cage and we're not done yet. Now, on this toy, you could also stuff like some sunflower seeds in the little penny roll with the paper, so they have to forage for it. So that's something else that you can do with that as well. You could also put like some millet in there, or like I said, sunflower seeds, safflower seeds, just anything that they like. So that's something that you could make them forage for. So I think this will be a good toy. I think it turned out pretty well. I really like the colors. I think it's pretty cute. So overall, I'm satisfied with it. What do you guys think about it? Is there anything you would have done differently? Would you like to see another video where we make another seagrass mat toy? I got the seagrass mat on my Safe Bird store, and I got a lot of the toy parts from there too. I also got some of these bird toy parts from abirdtoy.com. I'll have links below for those sites. He's liked the seagrass mat toys in the past, and I'm glad that I got to make my own and kind of customize it with some things on it that he particularly likes, like the sola beads, the mahogany pods, the little star. I think he'll like the little wood beads on here, so it should be fun for him. Alright guys, thank you for joining us for our video today. I hope you enjoyed it. Please give it a like if you enjoyed it and subscribe to see more videos. Until then, we will see you next time.